This is Never Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
What's up, Cowboys Nation?
What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here with Jimmy D. Holiday, Labor Day. I should be sitting out by the pool, but I was. I did some yard work. I had to finish up the yard work from Sunday. Jimmy was making fun of me because I talked about that on Sunday, but I finished it up this morning and hung out by the pool a little bit, get the mind right, had some margaritas. So I might be a little tipsy, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully I don't say anything I'll regret. But what's up, Jimmy D?
And what's up? I tell you. You definitely, it is Labor Day, and you labored the last 2 days, so it was perfect timing.
I know. We got Edgar, we got Troy, we got Steven jumping on early. So, yeah, we see people climbing in. So, again, thank you to everyone before we get rolling, man. I always like to just big thanks to the audience. I mean, we surpassed 1,700 subscribers, and we gained a couple hundred just in the last month. So, all your likes and sharing and spreading the word, it definitely pays off. Hopefully the content brings some people back and get people to subscribe too. But we definitely appreciate it. And I was looking at it, man, hit over 30,000 followers on all the social media platforms. So definitely the Cowboys Cave is growing. So it's really the big thanks to everyone in the audience. So, but football's here, man. Football is finally here. I know Jimmy D. I know Jimmy D's not a big college guy, but we want to get into a little bit of college. I don't want to rehash too much because I did get in deep a lot of it on it Sunday, but it goes without saying because you're an Atlanta Falcon.
Yes,
you said that the reason you're a Falcon fan is because of this man. So
yes.
You had to have some piquing interest in seeing what happened with Colorado. Everyone was waiting for the big collapse. 20-point underdogs against a team, and I know they lost people, but they were in the BCS, playoffs. Not BCS. Is it BCS? I'm going old school anyway. They were in the playoffs last season, and so anyway. That's a big win. I don't give a shit what anyone says. People can dismiss it all they want, but that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was. First of all, what his kid threw for like 500 yards passing, crazy. And I don't know what TCU. I think they were fairly highly ranked team.
They were 17th. They were 17th.
But the thing is, what pissed me off, he's all hype. He's, after the game, they're going to, we're taking receipts and all this stuff. There was a few people online on Twitter, even some CBS people saying, oh, well, a typical, Deion Sanders making it all about himself instead of his team. Just first of all, shut up. He's hype. That's what it's all about. It's old school. He's talking noise. That he's getting his locker room hype. I thought it was great, and I was eating it up, man. I loved it.
No, it was cool. Now we'll see where it goes, but I just tell you, the thing that it just goes to show, and just is in football. Football is the one sport where coaching can make such a difference so fast. And it's really the mental part of the game. And you've heard Michael Irvin talk about it. You've heard Deion talk about it. You've seen why a Bill Parcells can just jump into a team and take a team that has Quincy Carter and Troy Hambrick as their quarterback and actually make the playoffs. I mean, you see those coaches turn it around, the Belichicks. You see some of these guys, the Jimmy Johnsons, all the great coaches that are out there. It makes a difference. You see it a lot in high school. I've seen teams that have, Valdosta, if you ever watched Netflix, the coach that they made a series about him. He was one and done because he had nubs, whatever his name was, and some corrupt stuff going on. But he took a Valdosta team that was fledgling and had them in the Final Four of the Georgia State Championship in 1 year. Same team. Got some other guys, got maybe a few recruits here and there, but still, the core of the team is there, and you got to do it. So, coaching to me makes such a difference in football.
No, it does. And again, it's not only, they talk about preparation, obviously, and actual coaching itself, but it's, attitude, it's the locker room attitude, it's the mental. And again, prime time, he was always about the hype. And I'm sorry, man, people feed off of that. If you're low key, that might work. I don't know. Bill Belichick, he's low key, but prime, I mean, that he would hype me up. Get him to motivationally speak me and my crew, and I'd be a happy camper.
Oh no! I tell you what, Michael. I played it on Sunday. I won't replay it, and then I put on Twitter. But Michael Irvin, I mean, he was talking about pressure and talking about this and but focus. But it's the neck up is what he talked about. That's a thing great coaches can do, is get inside the mind of these players and get the best out of them. You see these highly recruited or highly drafted guys and get to the next level and they don't pan out for whatever reason. For whatever reason, they don't pan out. Could it be that that mental part of the game? It's the talent gets smaller and smaller. That divide between talent level when you get to high school, then when you get to college, and especially pros, that's why you see these undrafted guys make it. You see, Steele with the Cowboys, undrafted. He just signs $86 million contract, right tackle. I mean,
Yeah.
He wasn't even drafted. I mean, that just goes to show the mental side of this game, and the coaching can really turn things around and opportunity.
Yeah, it is too. I mean, you look at, some of the people who are the best players in games. Let's say Wayne Gretzky coached. He was a disaster. Michael Jordan coached. He was a disaster. So, it isn't just experience. Again, it's like you said, from the neck up.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin's spot on.
Yeah. Well, I've been watching, because I'm home, I've been watching some programming. So I'm going to give you guys opportunity. This is Mike's suggested plays that you guys can watch. One is White Boy Rick. I don't know if you ever watched that on Netflix, Jimmy. It's a true story.
I've heard the true story.
He was a drug dealer and ended up getting life in prison, but it was a really good story. Then I watched something in Alabama about a girl who stand your ground case, and that was actually pretty good. She ended up going to jail. Really kind of sad story. So that's what I did, and the football, you're trying to watch football, you're trying to get this, but I had to mix some other things in there too. So those are a couple good shows. I already got my brother watching the White Boy one. So that was actually, it's all gangster stuff. So it's really good. If you guys hadn't seen it, check it out on Netflix.
See, it's funny. I haven't seen that movie, but I've heard on other podcasts about that whole story. So I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it sounds.
They made a movie about it. I didn't even know. I was telling someone to watch it. They searched and they said, "Man, there was a movie made in 2018 about it." It's actually it's a pretty good story. But yeah, I mean, Florida State was absolutely an impressive win, dominating. The one thing I'll say is I'm not going up to Tallahassee to see my Canes play in the Knolls, but I mean, you could dismiss it. Ultra is a Deion hater, so I understand. the Florida State was a 2.5-point dog. It was a home game. Really, it was in Orlando. Deion Sanders took a Colorado team that had basically a lot of the HBCU kids.
Yeah.
Changed that whole roster. There was only 3 kids from Colorado that stayed. Went up on the road against TCU, again, a top 25, top 20 team, 20-point underdog on the road. And, like Rocky said, went toe-to-toe with them. I mean,
that's
it went
right.
toe-to-toe with a damn good team. I thought, honestly, TCU was going to pull it out and they'd win. But it's something that Michael Irvin said again, is you get these guys in the confidence. Every minute that kept going, you see these kids get confident. They're getting more confident. And by the end of the game, they just had no doubts. And you saw Sanders' kid. Now, I guess there was a picture with him and Tom Brady. So maybe being primetime gets you some extra extra training for your kid. But I'm just going to say this as a college football fan, I didn't expect it. I thought they would get the doors blown off and we'd just hear it. So, but I was pulling for Deion. I wanted them to be competitive. I didn't think they'd win. Now they got Nebraska at home. And I'm just going to tell you this. This is the impact. I mean, you got to give the guy credit, Jimmy. $20 those seats were going for last season. Home opener, $20 in Colorado. You know what they are now?
What? No.
$375 just for an average ticket. That's not even a great seat or anything like that. That's what he's been able to do. So I give him credit. I think it's something great. Colorado's
Yes.
a great historic program, so good for them. So
No, I'm happy. And again, you guys know I'm not a big college guy, but that was a great story. And you know what? Now I got somebody to follow. I know you're a Canes fan. That's who you're following. But I'm going to be scoping out Prime each week, seeing what's happening.
yeah, and that kid Travis Hunter, Falk was talking about 100. I think he played like 120 snaps, 110 snaps. He played both ways, and I'm talking about was not just a couple trick plays here and there. He was a starting receiver and the starting cornerback. I
That's
mean, you don't
crazy.
see that in college. Now, hopefully, they're going to pump the brakes on that a little bit, and because I want my boy to be able to have an NFL career. Don't wear him out. But the last thing I'll say on college football, Jimmy, is we got Miami, we got A&M. Your boys going down to Miami. We're going to Hard Rock. We're about 16 deep. You understand what I'm saying,
Yep.
Jimmy? We're going to be tailgating. We're going to have everything going. So I don't know if anyone in the audience or any of the follow, if you guys are Miami fans or even Aggie fans, I got some Aggies flying in for the game, some friends. If you guys happen to be at Hard Rock, man, come look us up. We'll be in the orange lot. I know I talked to Malik Rozier. He's going to be down there, so hopefully he'll pop by. And then Shelton, who was on the show a couple weeks ago, he's going to be popping by. So we're going to have a lot of fun, man. It's a tune-up for the next week, for a couple weeks late. Yeah, the next week, I should say, when we're at AT&T. So this will get the rust out of tailgating and get all that, but it's going to be hot. That's one thing I know. I'm not looking forward to that. It's going to be a hot day down in Miami, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And I love college football. I know you're not as big in college football, but it just it gets you amped up for the pro game. So now we're ready. So I'm going down to the game Saturday. Get up early. Got to get up at 6 in the morning, drive back home so I can watch all the NFL and, of course, see the Dallas Cowboys, take on the New York Giants on Sunday night. That's going to be fun.
Well, you know what? It's good. You get some training in before the Cowboys cave get together at AT&T. So it's a good training. You're getting yourself into the groove for the following week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 90. Did Mark just say 95?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 95. Man, somebody better check it because we're going to be there all day. I mean, we're already trying to figure out, we already figured out to get to lot 10, we got to get there early in the morning. So it's going to be a long day in that sun. So I do have one tent. Hopefully Mark still has it. I've got one tent. I don't know what we're going to do. We're all going to be huddled under there right there trying to get out of the sun, but it's going to be fun. But football is here. I know you guys got to be hyped. The one thing I wanted to lead with, if you don't mind, Jimmy, sure. I want to get your opinion on something. Cynthia Freeland, I don't know if you ever watch her. She's on NFL Network. She's the woman who always does the analytical stuff. And she's all in analytics. Well, she came out with her win projection for every team. I don't know. Did you see it?
No.
Am I spoiling it? Okay.
Nope.
So division winners: Philadelphia, Minnesota, Atlanta. That's got to make you a little happy. San Francisco. Playoff teams: New York Giants, Detroit Lions, Seattle Seahawks.
Bro, all but one of those were picks I made here a couple of weeks ago. So she's stealing our content.
I know. Well, but the most important team that's missing. You can't tell me that anybody has the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC not at least making the playoffs. If you want to say they're not going to win the division, all right. You want to have an argument with that, we can have that argument, whatever. How the hell can you not have them being a top 7 team out of 16, right? There's 16 there.
Yeah.
They can't be top 7. You think she had them winning as high as 10.6, as low, or 10.2, as low as 6.9.
Okay. First of all, she must have been watching our show and somehow said it was the analytic, because minus Philly, I said Dallas will win the division. Philly won't even see it. The Giants will be at the wild card.
Yeah, so you had it. I mean, you basically you're flipping Philly and Dallas out of there. Yes. I was surprised. And she says she does a million scenarios, whatever the hell they do. But that blows my mind. I don't know. Maybe it was the Madden simulation. Maybe she did that. I don't know that's what she's doing, but
maybe she's taking notes from Aaron Boone with the analytics as well.
Yeah, or it could be for clicks, or it could be because she knows that Mike Tagg and Jimmy D are going to be talking about it in the Cowboys cage.
That's right.
She's going to get some run. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah. No, and I do like her. She's easy on the eyes. Her numbers are they are. I looked at some of her other stuff and they're way off. So I'm not sure what she's doing, but anyway, it was it wasn't good. It
That's
wasn't.
bizarre. That
Yeah,
I don't get it.
it
But
does.
whatever.
No.
Everybody can have their own opinion. Whether their opinion is wrong, they can still have their opinion.
Yeah. So, what do you think we should do? Should we bring in Uncle Cheech now? Because we kind of talked college, and he had a nice week. Or do you want to dip into some of these NFL games and then bring Uncle Cheech afterwards? What do you think, Jimmy D? How should we roll with this?
You know what?
You go.
Uncle Cheech loves college football, so why don't we let him? We'll talk to Uncle Cheech because he'll want to talk college, and then we'll segue into the NFL.
All right. Well, let's get Uncle because Uncle Cheech might be bragging a little bit, and he probably has a right to do it. He's going to get into it, but let's without further ado, you got to get the intro. I screwed it up last time, so. And there he is, without any hesitation. Let me fix this real quick.
How you doing, guys?
Yeah, where is
Uncle Cheech?
I can't see. Jimmy, can you see? Where's my Uncle Cheech? Is that it? Is that Uncle Cheech?
Uncle Cheech is on there. Oh,
I don't know where we're gonna have to go with this one because I can't find what I did with Uncle Cheech. But hey, Uncle Cheech, how are you feeling? You gotta be pretty excited. We saw the week that you had. I don't know if you want to talk about it before I unveil the picks, but if people listen to you, there's a lot of scuttle going in these pockets.
Well, if they would have played
right.
my lock of the week, they would have been money be going to their account tomorrow. They covered easily. Matter of fact, I picked every pick correct. 4-0 for the week. Upset. Everything.
Anyway, you're a man of few words today, but you're probably just excited. Maybe you're counting all that money you had. Maybe all that money you made this weekend.
I'll tell you, it was beautiful. I really enjoyed the weekend. I watched Dion, the Nebraska game. I mean, not Nebraska, Colorado.
Yeah.
And what other game did I watch? Florida State last night. That was my upset special. Got a little shaky the first half. Played sloppy, made a lot of mistakes, but then they just came out and buried them.
There was no upset. That didn't look like an upset. It looked like the better team destroyed them.
They were the better team.
I
watched my Canes. They look good. 100% turnaround from last year. I went to their opening game last year, which I played a lesser opponent, Bethune-Cookman, I think it was, and they won, but they gave up a lot of big plays.
Yeah.
The other day, they ran the ball very effectively, got a whole stable of running backs, played good defense. I think they only gave up one big play.
Yep.
Held them to 3. I mean, Miami of Ohio, they're, a formidable opponent somewhat.
They were
handpicked. I noticed today on the line for next week, dropped 2 points now. It's 4.5.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Now, I didn't want to spill the beans, but Uncle Cheech is gonna be at the tailgate. Uncle Cheech will be down there hanging with me. He's part of the 16 deep. Very important that we're gonna be rolling into Miami and hopefully walking out really happy. I definitely want some revenge on A&M.
I got to tell you something. I watched what the hell is that show? Game Day, ESPN Game Day. I usually always watch that. They brought in a new handicapper. I don't know why they didn't call me Uncle Cheech. And one more thing, I'm a hell of a lot better looking than that guy too.
Well, I believe it. You're 4-0. They can't even throw a crumb to their old pal Uncle Cheech, who's been teaching these guys left and right all this career and dropping knowledge. So I think it's disrespectful. You're going to get your just due, but more importantly, 4-0. Let's look at it. Let's break it down a little bit. 4-0 last week. You're 2-0 on your picks, your original picks, your normal picks. Then you throw an upset in there. You hit that. You hit the lock. So 4-0 year to date. We're loving it. Now we got the NFL. Now the NFL's coming in. So what say you on your picks this week?
Okay, I'm only going to play one college this week. And I'll tell you what, I got my hats off to Deion Sanders and his squad. They were composed. They were confident. They were disciplined. Nobody gave them a chance. I thought they'd fold after the first half. I really did.
I did too.
And they went in there, didn't panic when they fell behind a little bit. Quarterback played brilliantly. So my first pick is going to be Nebraska at Colorado -3. I'll take Colorado.
Now
I'm going to get on the bandwagon.
You don't think any letdown? I mean, 3 is kind of it's almost like Vegas is trying to pull you in because, I mean, you'd think that maybe Colorado after that, although they're going to smoke Nebraska.
Hey,
but
let me tell you something. Every time I try to get out, they keep pulling me back.
So,
I don't think there'll be a letdown. I think he's got a well-disciplined team. You can see that.
Yeah, good coordinators. I mean, he's got a good staff. I mean, he's
Whatever.
got a really good staff.
He's still the head coach. Everything revolves around him. They had him. They were talking about it yesterday. They said he had the worst roster in college.
Yeah.
And they go on the road and beat a supposedly ranked team, 20-point dog.
No.
I'm going to give it
a lot of times you shouldn't have these rankings out so soon. So
no.
You never know. So the other one, you got Jags -5 over Indy. Who are you taking in that one?
I'm going to take Jacksonville -5.
-5.
They got the better quarterback. Indy's probably going to play the
Richardson.
Yeah, the rookie.
It doesn't matter if he plays or who. Johnny Unitas can play it. They ain't going to beat this team.
Wow. a lot of
Yes.
confidence. A lot of confidence. So that brings us to your upset. Now we got to get into this one just for a minute, Jimmy. I mean, upset of the week. You got 49ers at Steelers. You got Steelers getting 2.5. So you're saying Steelers pretty much are going to win.
I think so.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. I like the home field. I like the quarterback. What's his name? Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
They're going to be starting. San Francisco is going to be starting. What the hell is his
Purdy.
name?
You got Purdy.
Yeah.
We've only played 3-4 games.
Yeah.
If you think about it, just played them last few games. I think Pitt will either cover or they'll beat them outright.
Yeah. No Bosa either. Added. That'd be a big loss too for him.
Well, I tell you, and Uncle Cheech has made me a lot of money. I mean, he's helped me pay my mortgage, filet me on. But man, that's tough. But you know what? I've always trusted Uncle Cheech, so how can I not this time?
I'm just telling you, if you play the one game, like I told you, if you would have played my lock last week, put $1,000 on it, 500, money be going to your account.
Yeah. So that, like I said, this is an upset. This is, I don't think Uncle Cheech is saying run out and bet your house on this one. This is one that he's got his eye on. He looked at the line. He's looking at the intel. He's talking to his insiders. He's got a feel. Home opener, it's usually you don't know what you're going to get. Things are unexpected a little bit, and that's what sometimes could worry you about Dallas. They look at the Dallas line. I think it was 3.5. A lot of people say, "Man, that's a little low. Is that going to be a close game?" But that's a lot of times these first games, you just don't know what you're going to get.
Now,
last week too, I had Utah over Florida Gators too. I believe that was.
You know it is too. I mean, I don't know. Are you taking into consideration? Because I saw some comments about Nick Bosa. Now, I read in 2 different places yesterday that they basically had him inked for $31 million. How or what's going on with that? I don't know. I haven't heard anything official.
He's going to play Sunday. That's
right. So
I
guess that's huge.
Yeah. No, but I mean, guys like that, if they get signed, he could just go in on third downs and just be there. Just get a few snaps in if he had to.
Yeah,
so.
Whatever it is, if he's not there, if he's only there part time, I feel much better about my pick.
Yeah. No. Well, that's good. Which leads us to the lock. We got to get some sort of audio here. We got to get help out. But the lock. This is your lock of the week. This is what you're saying. You might as well go ahead and do it. This is another one I got to question a little bit, but I don't never doubt Uncle Cheech. But Houston Texans at Baltimore, 10 points in NFL. That's a big line. That's a big line.
I usually don't like giving that many points, but Houston's going to be starting that rookie at quarterback.
Yeah.
Case closed. Baltimore's at home. They're going to really rough him up. They got a good defense. I think they'll cover.
You got to hurt him real bad.
Oh, yeah.
Going to kill him to death inside the first quarter.
They cause a variety of damage. So,
Yeah.
so that's your lock.
This isn't who they play. Where's he from? Ohio State. He's not playing Wisconsin or somebody now. He's playing a top-notch professional team. They're a contender, Baltimore.
No, they are. I mean, Lamar Jackson's got.
You got Lamar Jackson. Come on, they're going to score points.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think C.J. Stroud's going to be doing a whole lot.
Now, can Houston score? That's the key.
Yeah, they're a young team. I love their coach. I mean, I like D'Amico Ryans. I think he did great in San Francisco. I think they're going to miss him a lot, which I don't mind. But I think he's a great coach. So I think he's a good young coach. But he's gonna. That's a tough task he's got this year. He's got a young team.
Well, it's going to be growing pains. They're, like it said, they're a young team. They're going against a veteran team. I mean, probably the best quarterback in the league, one of them.
Yeah.
And I think he's just going to – their defense falters a little bit. He's going to light them up, and I can't see him scoring too much against that defense with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, those are some solid picks right there. I mean, that is some solid stuff you got going on there. So I like it. You're 4-0. How the hell can I doubt Uncle Cheech? But more importantly, you got a game tonight. I don't know. It's Clemson Duke at Duke. Clemson's they're laying 12. I mean, do you have any?
Well, college, I'll give more. I'm going to take Clemson, even though they're on the road. Duke's not the Duke that they used to be. I think they could hang with them for a half or so, maybe close to 3/4, and then Clemson will put them away. And by the way, speaking of Clemson, did you see their former quarterback last night played for the Washington Huskies?
No.
He transferred. What the Aligumi or whatever.
I was wondering whatever happened. How'd he do?
Oh, he lit them up. He had like 5 touchdowns. I mean, he was throwing lasers.
Well,
lasers, when I'm telling you.
I've
been in my pajamas for 3 days, sitting by the TV watching football game.
Now,
hot tub.
We got everyone on, Jimmy, and anyone in the chat. Has anyone heard from Kelly K9? Because I'm a little concerned. Texas Tech was up 17-0 in the first quarter and then lost to Wyoming in triple overtime. And I got to put an APB out on him. I haven't seen any Texas Tech stuff. I hope he's doing okay.
Well, I hope he didn't bet too much. I told him that, take a shot, but I didn't make it a definite pick. I said, Dad, take a shot if you want to bet $5, $10. You're going to bet some serious money. I would have had to study it, and I didn't study it. And I told him I wasn't familiar with those two teams.
Yeah.
I didn't look into them. No, I hope it didn't.
All right. Hopefully he didn't bet the farm and he's looking for a place to live. Because I'm a Cheech, he might be knocking on your door.
Like Sheriff Justice said.
Knock on my door.
Like Sheriff Justice said, we're coming deeply concerned. Hey, Uncle Cheech, you've been in your pajamas. I thought you'd be in the hot tub. I thought you'd be living it up this past week.
I know. Made some scud all there.
Yeah, the weather was a little rough up here. Had some thunderstorms. I didn't want to go out in the pool. But he is killing me here. She started on a diet, almost starved me to death. She's down to 225 now.
Oh, that's nice.
That's good.
Very nice. Good playing weight. If we might need her. We might need her on the field. Might need an extra linebacker or something like that. If he can help us out.
Hey, don't talk about my tomato like that.
No. Well, good. Wait, Uncle Cheech is going to be back on Wednesday because we got Thursday football. He's going to give his Thursday night pick. He said he wants to come in and drop a little quick knowledge, and also he wanted to make sure Kelly's okay because he does have some concern. We're all concerned for him. Mark said he talked to him via text, so we at least know the man is He's not hiding. But I
I
didn't see
told
what.
him Nebraska wasn't going to win. Right?
What'd you say?
I told him Nebraska wasn't going to win.
No, no, you did say that. He wanted Nebraska to lose, though. He likes that. So, but anyway, Uncle Cheech, it's always good to have you
All
in.
right.
Good with the picks. We'll be keeping tabs on these. You guys got them. You know what to do. We're still trying to get Uncle Cheech to learn how to do Twitter. When I see him down at the game, I'm going to give him a quick lesson because he could drop some knowledge during the games.
Yeah.
If you guys got
They
last.
didn't have that when I was your age, any of that crap. I don't know anything about this.
The only thing you have.
I barely know how to use my phone.
It's Uncle Cheech. Don't go with that Twitter shit. You know,
Yeah, I get that.
whatever they're calling it now, X or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right, Uncle Cheech. We will see you.
All right, boys.
All right, man. We'll see you.
Ciao.
Have a good one.
All right. There we
Man.
go. So yeah, he had a big week, man. He had a big
Yes.
week. And yeah, so hopefully you see it again. But yeah, that I tell you, some of those games, man, I love college football. Florida taking a beating. That was nice. Florida
Wow.
State looking really good. They're going to be a team to definitely watch out for. I mean, they've turned it around quickly. Hopefully Miami looked good. So I don't think I think the A&M game is going to be big. There's not a lot of big games next weekend. They usually wait a few, and now after about 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to start getting more in. But we do have some games in the NFL, Jimmy.
Well, I do want to take one step back.
Okay.
The one thing about you saying the Gators got their asses kicked, what I like about that is our friend that came with us last year, the Bears fan who, was falling asleep at the Cowboys game while his, team was getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
I'm happy because he's a Gators fan. So I'm going to have to call him later and break his chops over that one.
Yeah. No. Well, he said wait for Miami, so he's holding out. He's going to be at the tailgate. He's coming down to the game. He's more of a Miami fan. He goes to more Hurricane games than he does Gator games. So I think he's a closet Miami fan personally, but we'll see. So looking at the slate of NFL games. So we talked about Steele getting signed for the Cowboys. Sam Williams dealing with a little turf toe, and then you had Tyler Smith leave practice. So you're starting to see some things happen there with with some of the injuries. Hopefully they're nothing serious. Didn't seem like anything serious, but you never know. Obviously, Chris Jones is kind of the name that's floating around. Very unhappy in Kansas City, wants a new deal.
Yeah.
He's got 15 and a half sacks last year. I know I saw Ultras, go to Dallas. Problem is, I think you're starting to run out of money in Dallas. I mean, they just re-signed a lot of guys. Still got CD that's going to be due up. They'll probably get that going next year. And then you also have Parsons that's not going to be far away. So I don't really see them spending that kind of money to get another guy. I think, you'll start to see some salary caps go off with probably Tyron and Tank and some of these guys as their career moves on. But, that's the big name out there. I don't know what's going to happen, but they're opening Thursday. So he ain't playing Thursday. You got Detroit at Kansas City. Detroit's an up-and-coming team. A lot of hype with them. You got the defending champs in Kansas City. I mean, in the chat, what do you guys and Jimmy, what do you guys think of this game? Do you think Detroit has a shot?
No, you know what I mean? Detroit's going to be a good team, but I'm thinking KC at home. I think it's no issue at all. I think KC takes the game.
No scare, no gonna. You think it's just a cruise control? They're gonna.
No, and keep in mind, I picked the Lions, for wild card team, but I just think Kansas City home opener. I think it's theirs, no problems.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, I agree with you. I think the one thing that Detroit better be leery of is getting blown out. If they get blown out, I think they'll have some issues. So.
It's crazy. You talked about that, and I know I'm kind of jumping around a little bit. You talked about the cap. Did you see Daniel Jones already? He just signed like not too long ago, and he's already restructuring his contract yesterday to free up cap space. I mean, it's amazing how they play games with the money.
It's the cap is almost fictional, but it's robbing Peter to pay Paul. But and that's it. And I know I don't think Cowboys have enough money. I mean, the Steele cap hit isn't much this year, but he's young. He's going to see a lot of that contract. I don't think you're gonna move on from him. In 25, I think he's going to be around. He'll be restructuring. They do all that kind of stuff. But I just don't see the Cowboys re-signing a defensive end who's been in the league. I mean, I think he's like 5 or 6 years in the league. I don't think they're going to pay big money. They haven't paid big free agents big contracts. That's not what Dallas does. Maybe they did it in years past when they went crazy with free agency in the late 90s trying to do what they can, but I just don't see them doing it. If it was a 1 year thing where Jones was unhappy and they could pay his deal for 1 year, let him walk after this year, I think they would do it in a heartbeat. But Jones he wants money. He wants to get some guaranteed money, and he wants a long-term deal. I just don't think Dallas is going to do it. So, but yeah, so we'll see. So yeah, the thing that's always funny is you talk about the restructuring, then you look at the Giants team. They really don't have a lot of big high-priced guys. I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on with. I mean, I'm not a deep enough fan to really look at it. I don't know if it's just a lot of dead money they had from bad deals, but they don't have like all these superstars on their team with big contracts.
And it could be that. Remember, the Falcons were in cap hell because of the Matt Ryan contract. I don't know who they would have had that would have kicked the can down the road like this, but
yeah,
who would they have had?
I don't
know.
Yeah,
So
I don't know, but it always works itself out. And I know Steve talked about, CD is going to get a big deal. I think the one thing you'll kind of see is you're going to see. I think. Well, if he is the best defensive player in the league, I don't agree with that. I think we got the best defensive player in the league. I think he's already on the team personally. So we won't go there. But the thing is, I think if Tolbert plays to what you saw, I think Dallas moves on from Gallup after next year. I think that's what you kind of see some of these contracts where you can't have all these high priced guys in one position. They're going to start. You got to have these. That's why you got to draft so well. So I think. Thank you, Falk, for helping me out. I appreciate that. And yeah, I think T.J. Watt. I think you can run through. I mean, the guy got 15 and a half sacks twice in his career. I mean, he had under 10 last year, to under 10 the year before. Let's pump the brakes a little bit on Chris Jones, as they say.
So we had the Lion. Who's next up on the list? We said
we're not saying he's not good. So looking at the marquee games. Yeah, I didn't put Atlanta, but I do want to talk about Atlanta for you, and you just jump in if any of these games don't intrigue you enough. You want to talk about Atlanta should roll. I mean, it's not really a big game.
I'd hope so.
So you got San Francisco, Pittsburgh, which Uncle Cheech talked about. I mean, that's and I'll throw the other NFC one in for you. The topper teams: Philly at New England. Then you got Dallas at the Giants. The three teams that you think will be the top three in the NFC right now, opening on the road, no cupcake. I mean, I don't think any of those teams are cupcakes. So I think Dallas has the easiest game of the three with the Giants. I think Philly at New England, that's not going to be I don't think that's a pushover opening in New England. And I think San Francisco at Pittsburgh, like Uncle Cheech took Pittsburgh. I don't know if I'll go that far, but that's going to be a tough game too.
And I hate to contradict Uncle Cheech because, again, he's made me a lot of money and he's the best in the business. But I just don't know how, even though it's on the road, I know that, Kenny Pickett, Steelers, Najee Harris, I get it. But, man, I just don't see how San Francisco doesn't just kick their ass all over the field. I know Bosa might not be in. I heard differently about Bosa, but
yeah.
Nonetheless, even without Bosa, I think they beat him double digits.
I mean, New England, they're well coached. So I rarely see them get blown out. I mean, I just do. And I'm not saying it can't happen. They've gotten blown out, so don't start killing me in the chat, for God's sakes. But I think that they're going to be – it's going to be tight. Now, I think San Francisco wins. I think all three teams win. Philly, San Francisco, and Dallas win. If I was going to bet money, that's, straight up, that's what I would do. But if you take those three games, I think New England beating Philly would surprise me the least. I think then you'd have Pittsburgh beating San Francisco, and I'd be shocked if the Giants beat Dallas. That's kind of, if I were to rank them, that's kind of what I would do.
Yeah, I don't get much disagreement with me on that one. Yeah. That sounds about right. I mean, it's tough though, because, remember, you're talking about a division rivalry opening game between New York and Dallas. Dallas defense is probably going to win that game.
Yeah. And I think the one thing you got to see is, they talk a lot about uncommon opponents. I mean, San Francisco and Pittsburgh don't play each other a lot. Philly and New England don't play each other a lot. So if you're going to look for an opportunity for an upset, it's usually that. Dallas and New York, they know each other and they play each other. I mean, twice a year. They're in
Yeah.
the division, obviously. I don't think you know what you're going to get. It's going to see how execution. So then you've got the Monday night game. The other big game is you got Buffalo going to the Jets, home opener for Aaron Rodgers. There's going to be a lot of hype, a lot of excitement. I mean, you must be feeling it being in New York, is
Yeah.
they've got to have a lot of optimism with this Jets team. And obviously the Buffalo team, are people getting? Are they starting to get antsy? Are they starting to wonder? Can we get over the hump? I mean, Dallas gets a lot of these headlines, but Buffalo has struggled to get over that hump too, and they've got a great football team.
You know, it's funny. We were out in Western New York this past week, and I talked to obviously Bills fans out there, and a few of them said they feel that, and they kind of got a point. You know, Rodgers gets into a groove, like he starts out slowly, gets into a groove. Their thought is they're going to go in and they're going to beat the Jets this weekend, but several of them felt the Jets winning the AFC East. These are Bills fans talking, and a couple of them are like, rah, optimistic Bills fans, but they're being honest with themselves, right?
Yeah.
So, and I can't disagree with them. I think that I see the Jets winning that opening game, as well as taking the East.
This is what I would tell you: is me as a Cowboys fan, we play the Jets week 2. Nothing would make me happier than to seeing the Jets beat Buffalo. I'd never like to play a team off a loss. I'd never like that 0-2 start the season,
Yeah.
0-2 stat where it's like you got less than 50% chance or whatever it is of making the playoffs. It would make me nervous. I'd be a little nervous. I would feel much more confident if the Jets beat Buffalo. That's just the way I feel. I'm one of those superstitious guys like that. So, and that being said, too, is I'd feel good with Dallas winning. I'd feel a lot better, and because I just think the pressure. I talked about it with with Dion and Michael Irvin talking about pressure and focus, and Dak always used to talk about pressure's privilege. Well, I don't know. He didn't look too privileged when the pressure was on sometimes. So I don't know if he totally believes that, but I will say pressure. There's no more pressure on a quarterback right now than the guy with the star in the helmet, because the expectations are so high. I think the patience is getting very thin, and you see it with the organization. They go out and they make a move to get a top 3 quarterback, in the draft, which Dallas isn't going to have that opportunity. They're not picking in the top 5 unless they had some, God forbid, catastrophic injuries. They don't get that opportunity. Their team is, they're always going to be upper tier, middle of the road, upper tier. I just think their roster is set that way. So they went out and did it. And you can't tell me that Jerry Jones is just, and the Cowboys are thinking in their head is, we've got to get something going, or, I mean, do we, make a change in a couple years or whatever it ends up being. So Dak Prescott sees that. He's smart. He knows, and he's a competitor, and I think that he's going to rise to the challenge. So I think he'll get that Super Bowl, for the Cowboys. But it's a lot of pressure, and if you start off Sunday night and you play like crap, and Dallas loses, you want to talk about the media is going to be all over it. Then you got Aaron Rodgers coming to town, and you got that storyline and the pressure with that. It is, this Sunday night it's a big game for the psyche, I think, of Dak and the Cowboys.
Well, and to your point, you don't want a Jets team going in 0-1 to Dallas, because, like you said, that's where, all right, this is a must win. And Aaron Rodgers, you guys have a history with him. You don't want him rolling into Dallas with a must win, right?
No.
So, you want to, and not for nothing. Falk said, Josh Allen's overrated. I wouldn't say he's overrated, but I would say they don't really have much of a running game. And, Diggs is, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what they're portraying in the media. I still don't think he's a happy camper. You saw what he did last year when they got knocked out of the playoffs, teeing off on Josh Allen on the sideline. Some stupid things, not showing up day one at camp and saying some crazy things on social media. So I'm not totally sold that he's happy either.
Yeah, no, I think to Falk's point, I think Josh Allen gets a pass. I don't think he's any better than Dak Prescott. I mean, if you look at their numbers, you look at everything. I don't see him that much better than him. If you even say he's better than, you can make an argument that Dak is better than him if you look at the numbers and you look at everything else. What I'd say with Josh Allen, he's never not under the same scrutiny that Dak is because he doesn't have the star in his helmet, but he's got to be feeling some pressure up in Buffalo. I mean, you know, they talk about 27 years for Dallas. Well, shit, man, it's been what Super Bowl are we in now? 59, 60? I don't know what we're in.
Yeah, 59.
59,
right?
59 years it's been from Buffalo. They hadn't seen one ever. So I mean, those fans are clamoring to get a Super Bowl victory. So he's got the pressure too, and you got Aaron Rodgers in there. And I know someone, you know, I don't think Ultra likes Aaron Rodgers very much. He's talking about Zach. Aaron Rodgers is not the long term solution, and they're going to keep what's his name. He's on a rookie deal. They ain't going to give him a 5th-year option. I promise you that. But he's looked better, and maybe what that young kid needed was a veteran to come in there. One, maybe to show him a little bit. I think Aaron is a little bit more accommodating than he was in Green Bay with sharing his knowledge and all that kind of stuff. But maybe Zach needed a boot in the ass and get himself focused because he was a top draft pick and he was terrible. And so he's one of those guys that's on his last. Some of these rookie quarterback, they don't get many shots. I mean, especially as bad as he played in his opportunities. So it's going to be it's going to be interesting. So.
Well, they got to give the man a shot. But I'll tell you one thing. It gets back to what we were talking about last week. And I know Dak Prescott's a veteran. He's not a rookie like Wilson is. But again, did they bring Trey Lance in to light a fire under his ass or to have him looking over his shoulder? I don't know. I still think that's part of the deal. I mean, they got him for nothing. So there was no downside to it. Yeah. But why? I mean, it was just, are you getting him because you got a highly, top, whatever it was, number three draft quarterback for nothing?
Yeah.
You just don't, I don't think you just do that just because you're getting a good deal on it. Right. I think that part of it was to have Dak looking over his shoulder a little bit, my opinion.
No, I could, you can't argue that. And Ultra, I mean, I love Ultra. So I don't mean to, if I'm going to go snapping at Ultra, it's all love. But what the hell has Josh Allen done more than Dak Prescott? I mean, really, neither one of them's gotten to the Super Bowl. Both of them throw a shit ton of interceptions in the playoffs, right? I mean, Josh Allen has the most red zone interceptions in the NFL last season. Both of them turned the ball over a lot last year. So they're equal. So I don't know what my man's talking about. He might be cranky today. Maybe if I know anything, I think he went ahead and put money on TCU and gave up to 20 because he hates Dion. 2, he's very upset. He's listen to Uncle Cheech, and Uncle Cheech told you exactly what to do. If you would have listened, the Scott All would be in your pocket right now. Instead, you're upset. You're probably looking in the mirror trying to figure out what the hell I did wrong. Why didn't I listen to Uncle Cheech?
Ultra says what he feels. I give him a lot of credit. That's why I love when he's on here talking,
It's all in fun, man. So yeah, no, it's but anyway, so it's some big games. And I know everyone's hyping and we got some big stuff going on in the cave. You can see Jimmy and I are here. We're going to be leading into Monday Night Football. Every Monday we're going to be here. So we're going to be talking about the game, talking about recapping, and more importantly, we got the fantasy football. We did our draft. Everyone's in. My man Mark is all in on the Cowboys. So all you got to do is watch the Cowboys. If the Cowboys look good, Mark's got a good shot at winning that fantasy football ring. But we're going to have a lot of fun with that. They're going to be talking about all that good stuff on Tuesday. And then Wednesday's a big day. We're double dipping. So we got 2 shows. That's how hard we work in the cave. So we're having Thomas Hollywood Henderson. You're talking about one of the great characters in the NFL, one of the great linebackers in Cowboys history, 56, and another 56 like Eugene Lockhart. So hopefully Eugene's feeling better. I'd love to get him in with Thomas Hollywood Henderson to talk some Cowboys. So we're going to talk some Cowboys. We're going to get his take on what he thinks about the Cowboys this season. And then at 9:00, 8 Central, we're going to be talking all Cowboys and Giants. And we're bringing in my man, Sneaky G-Man. He is coming into the cave. He's going to be talking some smack. I said, you man enough? Are you, because he told me a month ago he's coming in. I said, you coming in the cave and we're going to be talking this thing. And he sent me a video, Jimmy. This is a video he sent.
Just got one question. One question only. Is the Pope Catholic? There's your answer. Let's go Giants. Ow!
So we're going to have some fun. We're going to be doing some smack talk. I'm going to make sure my Cowboy Nation is strong because I know he's going to be bringing in his Giants fans into here to give us a hard time. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys tune in. You can double dip because it's going to be 2 separate shows. You can go back and watch Hollywood later, or you can stay with us. But we're going to end one show and start another one. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'll tell you, he does some close-ups like what's the name on the Vince on the fantasy football show. He's got them.
He doesn't stream as much though.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You guys be nice. And I see some of the comments in the thing. Be nice to each other. Come on, man.
Oh, as long as you guys are having good, it's all in fun. We're having some good ribbon. It's all good. We're all good. As long as it's not getting personal. No one's getting personal.
Did you
and
hear?
More importantly, another reminder: we're having a guest on. Show the respect to the guest. If you want to make fun of me, but don't disrespect our guests. If you're a Cowboys fan, you should never disrespect another Cowboy, a player, a legend who's coming into our home to share some stories. And it's why we love interviewing former players, is because they don't care. They're going to tell you everything. And I want to find out, does he ever feel bad about saying that Terry Bradshaw couldn't spell cat if he gave him the C and the T?
I was watching Smokey and the Bandit 2 was on last night. I don't remember the scene where they drive in the Orange Bowl and Mean Joe Green flips the car over. So Terry Bradshaw was in there, and that guy was as stupid now as he was then. I never liked him. He's a schmuck. I don't know. That's just me.
Aww.
Sorry to be mean. I'm just not a fan. And I now watching that movie last night, I remember why.
Yeah.
But
I got distracted because someone took a joke at, because you were saying that no one needs to be mean in the chat, and I know.
Yeah, but you're coming at me, and that's okay.
28-3 is.
Thank you, Frank. That's okay. I mean, but that was years and years ago. We're talking about the distant past right now. Right? You speaking of legend. I don't know if you guys saw, Bill Parcells came out on social media and said that he came out of his own pocket for some of his former players, unnamed, gave him some scarol because they were having issues. And this gets back to the NFL, and Eugene, Mr. Lockhart's talked about, they don't take care of the people that paved the way to get this league where it is now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And I know we've had Ultra out here say, well, they didn't plan, blah, blah, blah. Them guys didn't make that kind of money back then. And there's a fund for these guys that, again, Mr. Lockhart said how it's distributed and how you figure the whole thing out is a bunch of BS. So I give credit to Parcells for coming out of his own.
Oh, I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool thing to do for your players. And I mean, if he can do that, I think it's great. The other thing is, Mike Sherrard talked about it with the NFL alumni, and there's opportunity. I want to get, Eugene and some of those guys linked up with them, because I think there's opportunity maybe for them to get some stuff going. So anyway, we've got a busy week in the cave. So we got so much going on. Make sure you guys hit that like. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Like I said, we're over 1,700 subscribers. We've grown so much. The hours, all the other things I saw. Just in the last 30 days, I think we've had almost 1 million impressions on social media platforms. So eyeballs are all on the cave. So we love it. And it's a big thanks to everyone in the chat, everyone who watches. So we do really, really appreciate it. And we've got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, Monday Night Raw. Yeah, Jimmy.
I tell you, it is almost Monday Night Raw, but Ultra, to your point, you guys talk about the star. This brings out hate, okay? And this year we suck. We're not going to make the playoffs. I know we're 7-3 in our last 10. Oh yeah, we're playing great. We're not going to make the playoffs. But to all the Texas Rangers fans, that you're welcome.
Yeah, they should be thanking you, right? You swept the Astros, didn't you?
Yeah. So I think either Texas is now tied for second in the division, or might have stepped over the Astros. But anyway, so you're welcome. Just saying. And Jason Dominguez, they finally brought him up and started him. Homer in his first game. That's what I love to see. I told you last year they should have brought him out. Volpe's proven himself. Dominguez, they brought him in too late. They should have brought him in months ago. But when you have a crummy general manager, a useless, weak spine owner, and a field manager who relies on analytics instead of gut, that's my problem. That's our problem.
Yeah. No, you got, and again, I've seen a lot of them with the analytics, and I love analytics, but I think you got to coach and manage with your gut and instinct situation. So I like, since I told you Cincinnati, my friend's son's a pitcher on there, and that's a scrappy young team that they don't care. I think the average age is like 23 years old or something like that on the starters. It's all young kids.
Yankees traded Josh Donaldson in, man. They got a good pickup with him, I think. You know, we were talking before about liking and subscribing, and Mike's right. You guys make the show. We love the interaction. I told Mike the other night, and again, we don't honestly, we maybe jump on 4 minutes before we, go live. We're busy, we got kids and work and all this crap. So we don't really talk during the week, but we texted a little bit a couple days ago just about general things. And I said, I had a bold prediction. Hopefully, we get the word out and spread it. I said, I'd want to hit 2,500 subscribers by week 8 of the NFL. So anything you guys can do to get the word out, we'd appreciate it. That's the goal, is 2,500 by week 8.
I tell you, I'm more offended we're not at 2,500 now. All the great stuff we've all been doing. So, no, I know. We got to earn it. We got to earn your trust. We got to earn you guys wanted to watch and be part of the show. That's why we try and put some different content in to get everyone involved. We love doing it. And, yeah, if you guys make sure you spread the word, because as crazy as it is, it's just, you got to get things out on social media, the way Twitter works, the way all these things work. A lot of things get missed. So, make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, and share. We've got a big week coming up in the cave. More importantly, we've got a lot of stuff getting ready to happen. We've got our tailgate party that is going to be here before you know it. It's going to be here on the 17th. So make sure, I'm going to be talking to Kelly. We're going to give you, if you want to come to the cave and just hang out to the tailgate, no biggie, man. Come. If you want to eat, you want my man Cuts by Jones grilling up something, all we ask is just throw $5-10, whatever it is, for some food, so we can, put a little pool together to have some food, and I'll bring some drinks, but bring your own drinks, but I'll have some beer, and we'll have some. Maybe I'm going to make my rum punch. I'm going to try it out. I'm bringing my thing to the Miami tailgate. We'll see how the rum punch goes. If no one makes it inside the stadium because of the rum punch, I can't bring the rum punch to the Cowboys game because I got to make sure I watch it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm telling you, the tailgating, at Cowboys games, it's almost better than the game itself. I'm just telling you, it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys come and go as you please. We're going to be having a lot of stuff there. Cuts by Jones is going to be grilling it. He's also, we'll be doing a little giveaway. We'll be doing something. Eugene Lockhart, if everything works out well with him, he'll be stopping in. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We'll be shooting some videos, having some great time. We'll drop a pregame hype. It's going to be fun. The only thing misses, we need to get Jimmy D on a Learjet, get his ass down to AT&T right before we're going there like 3 a.m. So we'll let you come here like 8.
I'll catch up real quick. Trust me. Yeah, so, you know that.
Yeah. So anyway, it's great. Did I miss anything else, Jimmy? I know you gotta get rolling, and it's a holiday weekend. We got stuff we're doing. So did I miss anything?
No, I think we got everything rocking and rolling. Big week here in the cave, and next Monday we're going to be going over wins and losses already.
Wins and losses.
Blown by.
That's how fast. But the season is finally here. There is nothing better than the NFL. And college football is there too, but the NFL, when that season starts, the hope and everything is just, it feels so good. We've made it through the rough times. Now we're one big family for the next, 4 months, hopefully even longer. And we'll be enjoying a lot of stuff. So I appreciate everyone jumping in, everyone in the chat, all the new subscribers who've been popping in. Thank you. And we'll see you. I won't be on Tuesday, but Wednesday we'll be double dipping. But if you're not doing anything, check out the guys on the Fantasy Football Show. We will see you next week. Take care.
The Eagles getting ready, because you might not like it, but you will learn to love it, because we are the best thing going today. Now can you dig it?